parents, if they've already joined with you to encourage you. I also want to take this opportunity to wish you all a very, very happy new year, and let this new year be an innovation year for all of you, which all of us we are looking forward to do something differently. Let me first of all congratulate you for taking the first step of making yourself aware of what this Smart Hackathon is all about. The reason I'm saying first step, because the first step is actually going to lead you or going to open you a big opportunity or a panorama of opportunity to go out there and prove it yourself. I'm sure some of you have made yourself aware. Some of you have already kind of gone through the problem statements, have started working on it, also trying to make aware a couple of your friends, and some of you have already gone ahead and responded to the challenges that we have shown. I know there are a couple of people who are going to be in a very confused stage, and I also welcome that stage, because I know one of my professors in my college days used to say, confused stage is one of the good stages to be in, because nobody as a human being would really like to be in a confused stage. They would also like to either get it clarified or then not to kind of keep it an option. So no one wants to be really what I call it as a tri-state, and most of you are being engineers, each one of you understand what tri-state could be. So you would like to be either on one side, understanding the problem statement, making everything out of it, and getting yourself a good opportunity that platform offers. I'm also going to encourage you to spread a word across your own WhatsApp group. I'm sure your WhatsApp group will have another WhatsApp group connected to it. That group will have furthermore WhatsApp group connected to it. So this should become a chain reaction. Just imagine if this goes to every corner of India, every student of India, every colleague of yours. We are expanding this platform to get them encouraged and participate in this large initiative that we have. To me, it's a lifetime opportunity that anyone can get in this type of a world or this type of a college life that you have. One of my icon, and I'm sure each one of has the same icon. We have read them, we have heard them, and the individual, the icon or others which I'm referring to, is Dr. Abdul J. Kalam. He's been inspiring all of us as a student, as a professional, to try to go out and do something differently, something innovatively, come back and contribute. And I believe what could be a better opportunity than this, to go out there in the world and show them that India is not only about the consumption story, but India is all about the innovation. We'll have to prove it to the world. Then only world can acknowledge us that we are not only something different, but we are extremely different, and we can prove to the world that here is an opportunity, here is a strength, here is a talent that we have, that we can demonstrate and come out with the solutions that we have. Let me also take you a little different aspect of what we are trying to do out here. The problems that are stated out here, these are the real problems that you and me face out there, right? We always talk about the great nations out there. They haven't become great because somebody else went out there and made them great. They are great because some of us, like you and me, the citizens of those countries, actually figured out what their challenges are, figured out what the solution could be. They were local solutions to their local problems. They solved those problems, came out from that problems, moved to the different state of level, right? And once the problems have been solved, they went back, revisited what the problems and the solution was, and then this solution they took it to the global levels, and that's how most of these developed countries or most of these aspiring nations that we are looking forward to are offering us a global solutions. We and you and me have that potential to take it from that small bit and make it to large bit, make it to the large audience, large global solutions. The other opportunity that this is presented to you is look at those problems. When I look at personally to those problems, it presented me a huge opportunity, huge platform to pick up this idea and start my own startups. Today, everyone is talking about the startups. The basic issue or the basic challenge where you start from for the startup is identifying a challenging statement or identifying a problem statement. Now, here are the huge problem statements which are already been given to you. What else you can expect? Pick up those challenges, and you are going to get assistance from the best technocrats, from India, the best technologies people in India, the best mentors coming out from India. They would be handholding you, they would be mentoring you, they would be helping you to take it to the next level. And then that could be one of the startups. Just imagine somebody from Orissa or somebody down from west or south or north, from any remote part of the country, pick up this as a problem and views this as a startup challenge. I would be more proud if anybody from those remote control areas coming up, not only addressing this challenge as a part of this hackathon and winning those prizes, but actually converting that as a startup, which not only will take that problem to a smaller country or state, but possibly can take to the global level. I mean, this is something which are underhidden or underneath opportunities that has been offered to you. These are the genuine problems, not only faced by you and me, but also been kind of thrown at us by the government agencies, which they think that we need to change. And what I believe, some of these things that we start working about when I talk about we as coming together, contributing to the society and changing the nation is what our theme is, and that's where we are calling it as Desh Badal Raha Hai. This is the only way we can go from left hand side to right hand side. We can go from one level to the other level, and that level is only going from the lower to the higher. There is no looking back further now. I think this is something which is you and me. Let's go out there. Let's make it a huge success of this event. Let's show it to the world that India is all about innovation. You throw any challenges, any problem statement to us, we are there to take it out. We are there to solve it out, not only for us, for the rest of the world, for the rest of the citizen, and let's make this as a better living place. As part of this session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through some of those ideas, some of those concepts possibly that you can think about, that how would you tackle, how would you approach, how would you select the problem statements that we have on their list. I would also try to touch upon how possibly you can approach those issues or solutions or challenges that have been presented out there. If possible, I'll try to pick up one or two sample example as a use case or study to just take you walk through, just to make you understand that how some of these things can be quickly addressed to, because we want you to come back immediately and start responding it to. We are running out of time. There is a short runway all of out there. I'm also going to take you through some of those forms that has been listed out there, which you will have to enter it as part of your participation. And of course, we will leave some time for questions and answers. To me, it's like fasten your seatbelt and ready for takeoff, because this is something which we really want to take it to the very, very high level of altitude with a grand success. So let me go back to the problem statements. We have a little over 550 problem statements. Those have been listed on the site. I do not have to repeat the sites. It's innovations, a site which is Smart India Hackathon 2017. You will see about 550 challenges, problems listed out there by more than 25 different government agencies and ministries. Some of these are challenges or problems are known to you and me. What I would suggest is form a small team, understand what you would like to do, go back and look at those problems, see which are your interest areas, what skill sets that you have within your team. Where you do not have those skill sets, can you acquire them? Do you have ready-made or allowed infrastructure access nearby to you? Is this something which you really like to passionate about solving those challenges? I'm sure some of these challenges are not new. These are not rocket sciences. Some of you have already thought of it. Some of the individuals that you and me are actually facing it on the ground. If you can just narrow down from this filtration criteria, and the message which I'm trying to broadcast out here is a more amount of time that you spend it on planning of that, understanding of the problem, reading between the lines of this problem statement, you will be able to fetch more and more success. Your solution will be more tangible, more executable on the ground, and will make real difference to the society, to the nation, and to the entire world. So spend that much quality time, narrow it down to about 3 to 5 problem maximum. Don't go beyond that. The reason I'm saying 3 to 5, that because your team size, which is about 6 or so, we'll be able to spend some quality time looking at those 3 or 5 shortlisted problems that we have shortlisted out of that 575 plus problems that we have. Go back and visit those problems once again. See whether you have really solution to it. Can you make it a little more tangible? Again, go back to the skill sets, see what infrastructure, what open source is, what things you have, and is there a thing which you can bring a value addition to that. I'm sure if you answer a couple of those queries, you'll be able to further narrow down or single out one or two problems which your team is very passionate about, able to solve about, able to go out with an appropriate solution to it, right? Which is in general terms. I would talk about a little bit more specific with a couple of additional problem statements, but this is to begin with. We can plan, narrow it down, spend some quality time, narrow it down to 3 or 5, spend a little more time on that, and then shortlist down to 1 or 2 problems which you as a team will be able to solve it out. This team could be heterogeneous. The problem statement which are offered there are not necessarily for only programming guys. There are sharp minds out there within your team who can provide you more logic, who can provide you with more subject matter expertise within your team. So bring them along. It's not necessarily that you should be great coder to just participate in hackathon. What we need is a great talented guys. Coding is one part of the tool which will actually interpret or express your solution to the problem statement. More successfully you will be able to express the problem, the coding out there, more it will be more tangible or acceptable as a solution. Let me go back and try to pick up few examples of the problem statement which have been listed out there. As I said, if you go back and read those problem statement as part of your team, more or less you'll be able to see that all these problem statement can be bucketed into 3 or 4 different categories. And what are those categories? Those categories could be in automation. Those categories, the second could be a part of database or analytics. The third could be a monitoring. The fourth could be security, so on and so forth. So more or less all those problem statement can be bucketed into those 3 or 4 or 5 buckets. You can pick up anyone which would like to pick it up. I would just pick up one small example from your own maybe problem statement which or all the challenge that you guys are facing. Each one of you have been appearing for the examination. It could be college examination, it could be 10 standard, it could be 12 standard, it could be a competitive examination. And most of you select your examination center as your choice, but not necessarily it falls within the travel limit or within the necessary nearby limit. You possibly have to go all over the places. One of the problem statement which has been listed out here is the GIS based examination centers, allocations, and the reach or search nearby around it. Now, is it not this problem which you would like to really solve it? Because if you solve this out, it is going to benefit you. And this is not rocket science. I mean, GIS based, when you appear for a particular exam, you know where the problem, where are the examination centers are. You have the necessary information available with you in terms of your own addresses, in terms of if you have to go back and use the technology, there is an India stack available, which using your Aadhaar cards, and you will be able to figure out where those locations are. You'll have to mix and match, do a matching level of it, and allocate those centers which are nearby to the students where either they are staying or nearby to their schools or colleges where they are. This is a good problem to tackle with. Genuinely going to solve your own problems, and look at the different way perspective. The government agencies itself, attending to this issue does means they do want to help you guys, right? It's not that they want to throw everything out there. They have tried their best so far. They want to go one step further to make sure that it becomes more tangible to all of you. So this could be one of the problems. The stack, as I said, you can use India Hackathon, Aadhaar card, those type areas. You have a couple of GIS products out there, right? You will be able to solve this problem, design this problem, make a use case of some of these problems. So do those use cases within yourself, try it out, and this you should be able to come on the platform of Hackathon to solve some of those issues. Another problem which I would pick up maybe the water usage and audit of water body. Again, a very social problem. Just move around, everybody look at the corner, we'll be able to see a lot of water has been wastage. This has been listed as a water problem. This has been listed as one of the challenges. I would certainly go for it. I mean, there are multiple options available. I can possibly use a technology platform. I can use leakage sensors out there. I can use all those distribution water distribution centers from where the purification is done and to the tap wherever it comes. So all those routing places, you'll have to give it a thought that where all things can be tapped on, where all the sensors can be put in together, where the leakages can be addresses, how to addresses, and come out with a dashboard, which will be with the help of GIS or GPS. An authority will be able to pinpoint where the issues are, and those authorities actually can use their limited resources or workforce to go there, address it, seal those leakage problems, and move on. This will be huge saving as a natural resource for all of us as a country. I've just picked up two examples. I can go on and on with this example, and I'm sure we'll have more and more sessions coming on such examples. I'll pick up a couple of other examples from safety, security, and analytics and database and audits. I've just picked up these two very small, very simple problems to begin with as an example for you, and also to encourage you that you can pick up some of those things, start working within yourself, and come back with the solution, start participating. I'm sure we can always go to the little more complex problems, which I'm sure you will be able to tackle in the next couple of sessions. Having said that, let me also now go out and illustrate to you that how would you actually go and register yourself against the problem statement listed on the site. So let me bring up that form on the screen. who would be listed out there as a team lead. And of course, the name, gender, the email ID, and mobile number. Every colleges will be offered or allowed to have 3 entries, and every team will have 6 members within those teams. So all those 6 members team names, their roles, their email IDs, their mobile numbers, their gender will get captured out there. One of the mandatory stuff is within your team of 6, you have to have at least one girl participating in your team. If your college is completely girls college, obviously we can expect all 6 participants are going to be girls participating. But you'll have to have at least one girl participating as one of your team members. So make sure that names are being captured out there. So once you submit this, we will go back to the other 2 formats. I'll open up that PowerPoint format, which is given as a predefined format for you to capture the ideas. So can we get that PowerPoint format? And while you do all this exercise and the PowerPoint format is coming on the screen, let me reiterate that you'll go to have 3 entries from each colleges, 6 members per team, 1 have to be a mandatory girl participant. The last date of submission is 20th of January, that is 20 January, beyond which we will not be able to accept any entries which are coming up. So now you'll have to prepare yourself to do that. Let me just go back to the predefined PowerPoint now. Can we get those forms on the screen, please? So basically, while it's coming on the screen, there are 2 predefined formats which we have given to you. One is a college authority letter. So what you have shown at the first screen, you have 2 files to be uploaded. One of them is going to be college authorization letter, and the second one is going to be about your consent. Both these will have to be converted into PDF and then only uploaded on the screen. So now you have the PowerPoint format on the screen. There is a preliminary information that we've asked for. So the ministry category, from which category or which ministry you picked up the form, picked up the problem statement. So just put it out there. Your problem statement name, the problem statement code which appears on the in front of your problem statement on the site. Then your team leader's name and the college code. And then in the second box, you'll have to describe your idea, solution, or prototype here in terms of how you are going to explore to this problem statement. What are things you will be able to do it out there? The last box out there on the first slide is describe the technology stack you will be using. What all you will be using as a technology platform for your challenge, for your solution that you are proposing. So you have a solution defined idea in the first box, and then below that box is what kind of technology solution, technology stack, which are the other sources that you will be, maybe open sources or any other sources that you would like to use it, listed out there so that appropriately we can make those things available to you while you actually participate and execute your hackathon. Let me go to the next screen of this. On the next screen, we have given you 2 boxes. So first box is describe your use case out here. What do you mean by use case? When you actually address your problem statement, how the things are going to happen from your problem to the solution. So that's how I will define that as use case. So how the things will move, from which boxes it will move, which area it will move, how the things will get differentiated out there, and what the end solution would be. So that is what I would call as a use case. So please define this use case out there. This will eventually help you only to make your coding or select your technology stack more efficiently. And then in the last box, you describe anything that you think is a dependency. For example, you may be looking for a data source. You may be looking for any specific APIs to be made available to you, right? Or something which is a completely showstoppers to you, right? You will have to have some, let's say, interface which is a huge hardware box outside of your control, something like that, right? Put there as this could be showstopper, so possibly you may not be able to reach out there, but be able to reach a one step before that, right? But describe all your dependencies and things out here, so in case if we will have to make some of those data sources available to you, it will help us that we are prepared with that. Now, after filling up these two slides, you'll have to convert these two slides from PowerPoint to a PDF file and then upload this PDF in the site that we have given a space for you to upload. Let me go down below. There is another format. Can we go down to that? If you guys are already online, just go to the terms and condition place. That's where we already have these two forms listed. Okay, is audio okay now? Okay. So we also given a prescribed format of what authorization letter should be coming into us from the college. So please go and fill up all those things. Only difference what you see it out here, this still shows about 3 member names. Actually, it should be 6 member names. So please make those boxes appropriately, modified. So 3 teams coming from these colleges. So you'll have 3 team leaders' names. Every team will have 6 names. Every team will have 1 girl at least in that name, and a team name is given to every team. So that is how 3 participants, 3 entries, 6 members with 1 girl member coming into it, with a team name coming into it, with a college code on top of it, signed by your college authorities with a stamp, and then upload this PDF also on the site, which basically completes your participations. So you've already gone back to the problem selection. We have given a title. We have selected a team name. We have also selected a college. Now we have uploaded these 2 files into PDF format. We have already given the 500 character, a small narration out there on the main form. You are done. Just submit. You will get in confirmation of submission. So this is how you should approach for completing your own participation in this event. Let me take a pause out here and open out for any questions that you may have. Now, before that, I just want to remind you there are a couple of sparks that we have identified. There are Google Forms which are being given to the sparks. I believe every entry application which AICT number and not a permanent number. I believe that is something which I want to reiterate. That the sparks which are been identified, they'll have to put in a enter application AICT number on the Google form and not the permanent AICT number. So just make a note of it, those who are actually been identified as a spark. Now let me pick up some of the questions which are been coming out here. Is programming necessary for this hackathon? Obviously the answer is yes. Hackathon is all about converting your problem statement using the programming code, excuse me, using a technology stack, and then demonstrating with some actual near prototype, I would call it as, or a proof of concept, which is workable proof of concept by by use of the code. Of course, you may need may have to use some hardware attachment or something like that, which is perfectly all right, but absolutely it is a programming necessary, or eligibility has to be somebody in your team at least is to be aware of how the programming is done. So I would possibly suggest pick up those people in your team which are not only subject matter expert, not only good talented people, but also are good at the programming and can do a fast and accurate programming to save your time. Okay. Another question popping up here is, can we give one solution to multiple problem statement? Well, the answer obviously could be no. We certainly don't want to encourage you cut and paste, to be very honest. I truly believe that a huge talent exists out there, and every problem can have a multiple solutions coming in from multiple dimensions. So why we should have a single solution to every problem. Possibly, a next minority solution can better solve that problem in a different way, or that problem also can be used somewhere else in a better way. So ideally, knowing your talent quotient and the confidence that I have, I would expect a multiple solutions coming up. Let me pick up any other problem that we have. I think the team size, it's coming back once again. I've repeatedly made it clear that mandatorily 6 members. One of them has to be a girl, to make sure that it becomes a 5+1 in that way of making it 6 member. So I don't believe there is any confusion out there. If you look at the form, that's where also we have made a drop down option as a gender out there. So certainly we encourage you to do that. Do team members have to be from the same institute? Obviously yes, and that's where we are asking to complete that format of college authorization letter. Go back to those format once again, which I explained. Every college will have 3 entries. Every team will have 6 members. There is a unique code for the colleges. Every team will have a team name, team leader, and a team name or a title, and then of course that has to be authorized. So reiterating, yes, the individual team members has to be from the same institutes. Okay, let me move to the next one. What is it? Will be given access to government databases? Well, let me put it this way. You will be given access, rather than calling me as a given access to government databases, I would put it this way: you will be given an appropriate data to make sure that your proof of concept or whatever the solution that you are trying to address will have a tangible data to use with. I don't want to commit upfront that you will be given access to the government data. Obviously, some of those problem-related data would be made available to you, but raised as a query, we will certainly able to. And that's one of the reason I'll go back and refer to my format, which I explained some time back. List that as one of your dependencies when you are responding back to me in that. So out of your responses, I'll be able to figure out how many problem statement has that specific dependency on a specific data, based on which I can go back and give it a try to open up those databases, or at least get some valid equivalent data for you to experiment with, or for you to solve that problem with. Okay, can we get the idea submission in the Word format? No, that's one of the reason we have given you a specified format. We have given a PowerPoint format to you on the site. The reason being is you can just download it. It will be easy for you to edit, do what you want to edit, but make sure when you upload it, it has to be in the PDF format. The reason being is we certainly want to make it sure that what best work, the intelligent, talented work that we have done it, I don't have any edit rights, right? I will be able to see them in a PDF format. It will also save my server space because I want more and more people, more and more students, including remote areas, to participate. So this is going to be a win-win situation for all of us. So make sure you stick to some of those guidelines or some of those prescribed rules, if I have to call it that way. There are 2 mentors in the team. Mentor is provided by the college or by your side. Well, the answer is yes. If you already have mentor within college, they are willing to help you mentor with that. And if you think those are appropriate, happy to do that, go ahead with that. If you don't have any mentors with you, as I said in my opening remark, we will be getting you some of the India's best mentors, best technologies people, best reviewers, best handholders to you. But option is left to you. If you want to select any one of them, more than welcome. If you already have within your college or within your accessible areas, please go ahead and use them. The next one is it necessary to solve the problem statements only, or can we provide additional features? Well, icing on the cake is always good. Who doesn't want a freebies? I'm sure the generation that you come from, you come with, you buy 2, get 1 free. But the basic, I don't want you to dilute from the basic problem statement. So mandatory stuff is to solve the problem, no doubt. If you solve the problem, if you have time, and if you want to do something additional, most welcome. but you do something else, but don't solve the problem statement itself, obviously you know where you will land up, right? So anything which is free is good, but you have to have something basic to get it free, right? So you'll have to buy something basic to get it free. So it's the same way, you'll have to solve the basic challenge first, and then if you have time left, go ahead and do that extra feature or extra value addition. But as I said, basic stuff is yes, you'll have to address those challenges. The next, do we have to build a prototype of the solution? The answer is yes. That is what you'll have to build a proof of concept out there, build a prototype, which you'll be able to demonstrate in that hackathon. So within that 36 hours, you'll do all sort of codings, testing, going back, correcting your errors, maybe changing your design on the fly. But end of the day, end of the hackathon, that counter, you'll have to demonstrate and display that how that real things is actually working out there on the field or out there on the screen. And that's what I will call as a prototype or a proof of concept, actually demonstrated, giving me the result out there, right? So just not, don't think it that way, that I'll come out with another PowerPoint and display it out there, PowerPoint, or show some use case, show some, UI diagrams or some architectural diagrams and some words around it, and that's done. Obviously, that's not something that we are looking for. We are looking for you to actually give a solution out there and there, which I will be able to see it. And let me just add it out there. The judges which are going to see you out there are actually going to be coming in from those ministry as their expert, because those are the people who are actually going to own those problems a little later. They may come back to you if they like your solution, and they may work with you. So that's an again great advantage for you to work with them directly. But those are those individuals coming in from those ministries as a subject matter experts who will be actually looking at it, where the solution that we have presented on day of hackathon is actually solving their problems or not. So you'll have to show them something tangible, meaningful, and not only a PowerPoint or use cases or some diagram, right? The time I'm taking some of those questions, I also want to go back and say, in the screens in past, we have given you an email ID, which is idea@i4c.co.in. We're also given a Twitter handle at IndiaIdea. There is a FB page that we have created. There is a website that we have created, innovate.mygov.in. If you are short of this time, if you are not able to figure out your problem, or if you are not able to get answer to any of your questions in this session, please go and raise your questions on those Twitter handle or your email IDs or your Facebooks. We'll be happy to answer all of them, and we'll get back to you with these things. However, I'll also try as much as possible to solve your problems here in these sessions, and subsequently we'll have many more sessions coming up where we will take some more questions or solve your queries. Let me pick up another one or two questions. Okay. How many maximum slides are permitted? We have given maximum 2 slides. I would encourage you to stick to those 2 slides only. Convert them into PDF. I really don't want to exceed that limit, because then everyone will go in a different direction and we'll have hard time judging you, and we'll have time assessing your solution and taking you to the next level. So my request to you would be stay within those format that we have given it to you. You can play with the font as much as possible to use maximum usage of that of the space that we have provided to you. In institutional authority letter format, only 3 team members' name was listed in the table. Is it enough, or we have to give 6 members' name in the authority letter? Yes, you are absolutely right. I stand corrected. In the format, unfortunately, it is still showing 3 team members later. But in the main form, which I took you through, already has a provision for 6 team members. So as I said, download that form. Please add those 3 fields out there for the authorization letter. So you'll have those 3 already there, plus 3 which will add it. So you'll be able to add 6 team members' name out there. But again, I reiterate, one of them has to be a girl. The team has to have a good name, and the team leader also needs to be identified. What next? Okay. We have only 1 and 2 year in your college, and we don't have any female student. Can we participate? Unfortunately, I have to say no at this point in time. We certainly want a diverse team or to participate in this. So maybe we'll have to wait. Okay, there is one more problem. Question coming: how many maximum slides are permitted? I've already given that. Is it necessary that the solution should be best looking at the infrastructure of India? Well, I think yes and no answer to it. You can think of the infrastructure that we have today, but you can also imagine this infrastructure is not going to be remaining at the same level next 5 years down the line. You may possibly put into categories that using existing structure that we have, this is what you can deliver. But if you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 additional stuff, this is what we can always deliver, right? So don't restrict yourself to what we already have. As I said in my first thing also, that we'll have to demonstrate this to the world, that this is a country which has got a huge innovation talent, and you and me only can change this country. So why should we limit ourselves only to where we are? If there is no road today, why would we say there is no road, so why shouldn't we be giving a solution where we'll have multiple roads, right? I would say I don't have a road today, fine, but the solution today is without roads. But when I start traveling on the road, when I see multiple junction, my solution is scalable to that multiple junction infrastructure. So I would certainly encourage you to do both in that way. What next? Details about first level of scrutiny. Yes, we are working in the background. That's one of the reasons we are asking you to provide in the specific format. We are getting the best judges, best reviewers to come and help us out. These are the best people in the countries available from the various subject matter expertise, the technology expertise, even those ministries or government agencies, those who have given us the challenges. They themselves are actually coming forward to see, can I participate in this, reviewing this and shortlisting it down. Right, so there will be another session that we'll be shortly conducting where we will take you through how we will be scrutinizing it, what were the criteria. But however, rest assured, we want to do a best foot forward to make sure that each one of you get an equal opportunity. Is it enough to judge a team for selection based on the 2 slides or ideas, sir? Well, I think it's so, yes. The word speaks a lot. Your use case that has been asked you to provide speaks a lot. Your solution approach speaks a lot. So I do believe yes. And if I really have to test something, I can test it with one sensor, with one drop of sensor, right, and one drop of observation coming out there, and look at it. There is no end to that. I mean, even if you throw me at 500 slides, and there is nothing in the slide, there is no way I can really figure out is a good solution to the problem. So yes, rest assured, we have given enough thought to it. Why we want to limit you in that? That's one of the reasons why we've given those 2 limited boxes. We have specifically picked up those fields for you to answer in terms of define your solution, define your technology stack, define your use cases, define your dependencies, which actually will help us to identify what solution to be taken to the next level. Okay, what next? Can we just get another one? If our final product is a working prototype model, whether space will be provided for implementing the prototype. I'm not sure what you mean by space to be provided for implementation. I do believe whether the infrastructure will be provided for you to demonstrate that. When I read space, possibly you are looking for some of your hardware, software, possibly getting connected to your problem statement. I do believe yes, that much space would be available unless and until you are looking for a huge hall to be made available to get some jazzy stuff inside. I don't think that's required. I do believe my interpretation of space would be the infrastructure or the minimum requirement for you to demonstrate or hardware software minimum requirement for you to demonstrate what you really want to demonstrate. So I would leave it at there rather than defining a space as such. Are multiple presentations required for multiple solutions? I think you'll have to have one solution coming best foot forward at this point of time. So make sure that you have one solution presented to the problem here right now. You can have features included in that as somebody was asking some time back. But at this point of time, please come out with one solution. Can we go to the next one? We submit our report in the old template before. You have changed the new template. Now we can't able to submit with new template. Is it okay with the old template format? And we have a submit. So guys, it's a very good question. Please don't change anything what you already submitted. I don't want you to spend your time on that. We are good enough at the back end. We'll figure out what to do with that. You will be equally treated with the new format. I would suggest spend that valuable time with your solution and what solution you're going to present it. Leave rest to us. All that you have submitted, we are taking it as is. Let me just reiterate, this is also a work in progress for all of us. So the way we move forward, we are possibly going to change few things. Most of things are already done out there, so don't expect any more changes. But for those of you who already submitted, have a peace of mind. We'll work with what you have submitted, not to worry. Spend your quality time on what solution you are going to present it. Okay, do management students have an Apache in this event? Why not? Obviously, we should be. The talent is equally available all over the places. So we don't want to deny anything. The only thing is somebody in your team, need to have a coding experience. You may stand behind, look over shoulders, guide him or her, give some suggestions, but somebody will have to code it. If you are a management student, have a coding experience, most welcome. If you're not, then your 16 members, that's one of the reasons why we have those 16 members. So some of them, pick and choose those who can code, and you can still present. Well, there is one more question coming up. I do believe I've answered this, that there are 2 mentors in the team. Mentor is provided by the colleges or your side. I said yes. If you already have those mentors with your team or with your colleges, go with that. We will also be happy to provide you the mentors and handholders. Will be shortly coming out with those list of mentors once entire shortlisting cycle has been done. So go with that. Is it compulsory to code program within 36 hours? Can we make some preparation before that? Well, some preparation is allowed, forehand or beforehand. We don't expect you to have a, coming up with the entire code on a USB drive and just plug in out there and show me the solution. That's not going to be available out there. That's not going to be accepted. Yes, some predefined code or pre-cooked code, or what could I say, a structure of code or a parameter or a structure or array architecture, you can always bring it out there. But what you eventually do it in 36 hours is what we are going to look at it. So don't expect that you will be able to give a cut and paste. You're all students. I know you are a good, you'll be able to handle those examinations. You have been handling those examinations, but it's a little different type of a challenge. You will have to do it actually live out there. But yes, as I said, some of the architecture, pre-cooked, some of those things that you might want to test at your solution beforehand, which you already done as a part of your exercise, is doable. But actually, things will still have to be done in those 36 hours. There were only 3 submissions for one problem or whole problem by the college. Well, per problem statement, a different solution. So 3 submissions for 3 different problem solutions. But the 3 entries per college is the criteria, right? So if one team wants to go by 3, I would encourage 3 different teams to go for 3 solutions. So if one team is going to address the three solutions, then if you get selected for all 3 problems, you can't replicate yourself. You can't Xerox yourself at 3 different places to do the 36 hours hackathon, right? So one team should pick up one problem. 3 problem statement can be identified by 3 different team members, but that is what you can address it. So I believe we have tried our best to do that. There are a couple of questions which will come up. We will have multiple sessions coming up, in a subsequent, in the duration that we have in time in hand. Let me just repeat. Last date of submission is 20th of January. 3 entries per colleges, 6 team members per entries. One of them has to be mandatory a girl. If you have or the sparks which have been identified, please make sure your Google form is filled with the entry application of AICT number and not the permanent AICT number. Let me also go back, though we have a very short time today. If you still have further more questions, we were displaying a lot of things on the screen. Let me just repeat. Let me see whether I can go back to that screen. Here is the screen, so please read those email IDs, the Twitter handle, the FB page and website. We encourage you. We are here to help you, rub shoulders with you, throw as many questions as you like. We'll be more than happy to take them offline and get back to you with answers. So with that, let me, yeah, and this video the session that we have done just now, the recorded session of this video would be available. So I'll encourage you as well as your team members to have a look at it. I'll go back once again and remind you of the chain reactions. Use your WhatsApp group. Those groups, let's go to the different groups and make sure that we reach out to all students in this country. So this is a chain reaction, and as I said, this is the lifetime opportunity presented to you. So make most use of it, and I wish you once again a very happy new year and all the best for this session. Thank you very much.